Hey, this is Jay with Illumine Reiki Academy. Welcome. Today, for our Reiki Mentorship Insight, I want to talk about how Reiki Mentorship helps students trust the Reiki guidance that they receive. So, some students will come in and that are new to Reiki, and they expect some of the guidance to be dramatic, and they may expect and want clear messages, a strong sensation, a vision, or an unmistakable answer. And sometimes guidance can come that way, but in my experience, Reiki often prefers to whisper. It is usually gentle and it is often subtle. And sometimes the most valuable guidance is the quietest guidance. This is where students can begin to doubt themselves. They may sense something, but discount it as imagination. They may feel a nudge, but really wonder, is this real? And they may expect Reiki to be more direct and miss the gentleness of what is being offered. Mentorship helps students learn how Reiki speaks to them. And this is important because Reiki guidance is unique for each practitioner. It is rarely exactly the same from one practitioner to another. For one student, a guidance may come from just that sensation and warmth in their hands. And for another, they may sense an inner peace. Somebody else may feel a certain vibrations in their body. Some synchronicities may be alignment, or some people just have some brief intuitive nudges or just a quiet knowing. For me personally, Reiki guidance often comes as a beautiful feeling of just quiet knowing. I may feel strong warmth in my body and in my hands, along with some intuitive nudges. And on a few occasions, I have heard words or messages being downloaded to me. But even then, I understand that guidance is not something that I can force, it is something that I simply receive. Mentorship helps students stop comparing their guidance to someone else's experience and begin recognizing their own Reiki language. Another way mentorship helps is by teaching discernment. Sometimes students are sensing Reiki, but other times their own desire for a good session can overshadow the gentleness of the healing Reiki that is being guided. They may want the receiver to feel something. They may want a visible result. And they may want to know that what they're doing is right. And that desire is understandable, but it can become louder than Reiki. So Reiki guidance carries peace, it carries calm, it carries a beautiful, spacious quality. And if what you are sensing is coming from a place of fear, emotion, pressure, or personal desire, then we need to pause and just return to Reiki. Mentorship helps students notice that difference. It asks them, or helps to ask them to ask, does this feel peaceful? Does this feel urgent? Am I listening or am I trying to make something happen? Is this guidance or is this my desire for a certain outcome? These questions help the student become more grounded and trustworthy in their intuition. Mentorship also teaches students that Reiki does not always give the whole map. We don't always see where the journey is going to end up. So sometimes Reiki wants to give us just that one next step. And sometimes Reiki gives no direct answer because what we need to experience is finding our own way. We need to have some strength on our own to make a decision. I remember asking Reiki for guidance about 3 or 4 possible directions, and I wanted a clear answer, but I didn't receive a single one. And after some time, I came to realize that which path I chose was not the important point. The important thing was I chose one and moved. The power was in the movement and in actually doing something. So sometimes Reiki guidance doesn't not remove our responsibility to choose. It helps us to develop trust as we take the next step. That is why I often encourage students to ask Reiki guidance for just taking just one next step. We do not need to know the complete journey. We do not need to know the entire outcome. Might be overwhelmed if we saw the entire outcome. So, just the next step. And if the next step carries peace, we can take it. Then we listen again. Mentorship gives students a place to practice this kind of listening. It also helps them to trust that silence can be part of the guidance. Sometimes there is no message because the practice is simply to hold space. Sometimes there is no answer because the learning is in movement. Sometimes Reiki is not asking us to interpret, it's asking us to be present. As a Reiki teacher, there have been many times when a student has been facing a difficult situation, either in class or in a mentoring session. And wisdom from Reiki seems to appear with appropriate guidance and comfort. And these inspirations, they don't come from me personally. I'm really, truly not that wise. But I'm so eternally grateful when they do show up. They honor me, and Reiki honors the student when it does show up. This is another part of trusting Reiki guidance. We receive it humbly. We do not make it about our ego. We allow it to serve that beautiful moment. And for the student who is afraid of getting guidance wrong, I often say the only wrong way to use Reiki is to not actually use Reiki because you are afraid you might get it wrong. Remember, so the only wrong way to use Reiki is not actually using Reiki because you are afraid you might get it wrong. That does not mean we abandon discernment, ethics, or humility. It means we do not let fear stop us from practicing. Reiki mentorship helps students listen more deeply, trust more gently, and discern more clearly. It helps them understand that Reiki guidance does not need to be dramatic to be divine. Sometimes the quietest guidance is the most valuable. So if you feel called to grow in trusting Reiki guidance, I invite you to explore Reiki mentorship opportunities through Illumine Reiki Academy at the website illuminereikiacademy.com. So thank you so much for being here, and may your Reiki practice continue to unfold with clarity, humility, and light. I'm sending you many beautiful Reiki blessings and healing, and I send you opportunities to have a beautiful day and to make it a beautiful, bright day for others. Take good care. We'll see you. Bye.